Hello, this is Cathy Cassidy, and I'm here to read you another chapter of SUNDAE Girl. It's chapter 12 today, and after yesterday's chapter was quite sad and quite heavy, so I'm pleased to tell you that chapter 12 has a much lighter, funnier feel to it. So picture at the top of the chapter is some love heart sweeties, so hopefully that will set the scene for a cheerier chapter for you now. On Valentine's Day, Giovanni arrives on the doorstep at 8 in the morning with an armful of red roses and a box of chocolates for Mum. She is still in bed. "Tell her I'm taking her for a special day out." Giovanni grins, gesturing towards the ice cream van, parked skew whiff on the curb. "We will go to the seaside and walk hand in hand along the beach. Eat tiramisu at the best Italian restaurant I know. Dance until the early hours and then kiss beneath the stars." "Yuck, Giovanni, too much information," I shudder, stomping off up the stairs to try to wake Mum. The room smells of whiskey and stale smoke. I spot a clutch of old fag ends in the makeshift saucer ashtray and a crumpled cigarette packet on the bedside table. My heart thumps. She gave up smoking 2 years ago. Tears sting my eyes, but I blink them back. Mum is curled up beneath the covers, clutching a plastic bottle that says it's ginger beer, but almost certainly isn't. I tug back the blankets and shake her shoulders gently, but she swats me off like I'm some kind of annoying insect. "Mum," I hiss, "it's Valentine's Day. Wake up. Giovanni is here with flowers and chocolates. He's taking you for a special day out." Giovanni knows about Mum's problem. The last time she was ill, he visited her in hospital, bought her flowers, drove her in the ratty old ice cream van to the AA meetings that helped her stay off the drink afterwards. He knows what she's like at her worst. He must have noticed what's going on now, surely. "Tell him to get lost," Mum says grumpily. "I'm asleep." "Then wake up," I tell her. "Come on, Mum, he's made an effort. You'll enjoy it. A day at the seaside, a romantic dinner for two. It'll cheer you up." "I don't need cheering up," Mum snaps, dragging the blankets back so she can burrow back down. "Tell him to go away." At that moment, the chimes of the ice cream van start to play at full volume. I pull back the curtains to look out of the window, and there's Giovanni leaning on the gate, waving. Grandad and Toto wander out onto the garden path, and Giovanni serves them all an early morning ice cream cornet, adorned with nuts and raspberry sauce. "Come on, Rosabella," Giovanni shouts up to the window. "Wake up, come away with me for a life of love, romance, and ice cream sundaes." I let the curtain drop before anyone can see me. Isn't it bad enough to have relatives that are seriously weird without them attracting whole shed-loads of loopy hangers-on? Why can't Mum date someone normal, a bloke who wears next suits and shiny shoes and doesn't wake up the whole neighbourhood on Valentine's morning with wailing ice cream sirens and declarations of love? "What's he playing at?" Mum scowls, crawling out of bed, bleary-eyed, hair sticking up in all directions like a back-combed auburn scarecrow. She drags back the curtain and flings the window open. "Ciao, Bella," Giovanni calls, blowing Mum a kiss. "Giovanni, just get lost," she shouts. "I'm not interested, okay?" "Mum," I protest, "don't. People will hear." She takes no notice, leaning out of the window and waving her fist. I notice she's wearing nothing but a lime green satin slip trimmed with pink lace, and I want to die of shame. "Go on," she roars at Giovanni. "Get lost. Take the hint. Take your stinking roses and your fancy chocolates and that heap of junk you call a van, and leave me alone, okay?" She slams the window shut and stomps past me in a cloud of whiskey fumes, flinging herself down on the bed. "As if I'd waste my time with a no-hoper like that," she mutters, snuggling under the blankets. "I have better things to do." I can see that. She reaches out for the ginger beer bottle and unscrews the lid, taking a few swigs of watery brown liquid. then fumbling for a cigarette. She produces an ancient silver lighter and flicks it a couple of times, lighting up. Well, hey, who would want a life of love, romance and ice cream sundaes when you can settle for smoking and drinking yourself to death? It's obvious. Giovanni is still there as I grab my bag and leave for school, serving cornets to a knot of neighbourhood kids and talking to Grandad. She didn't mean it, Giovanni is saying. I know she didn't. Perhaps I handled it wrong. It's not you, Giovanni, Grandad agrees, shaking his head. It's the drink. Giovanni shrugs. What can I do? I love her, but she needs help. I have to let her see that she can't drive me away. Grandad scratches his head. Maybe, he says, but I'd stay out of her way for a while, son. I'm sorry. Want to lift to school? Giovanni calls as I slip past the crowd of kids slurping at their breakfast cornets. No thanks, Giovanni, I tell him. I have a bus pass. The thought of arriving at school in a rusty ice cream van is enough to make me feel faint. A cornet then, Giovanni suggests. Extra nuts and sauce? Okay, thanks. I reach up for the ice cream cone and try not to worry about being seen eating ice cream in February. Lots of people do, I expect, especially around here this morning. Sorry about Mum, I say. Giovanni might not be who I'd pick for Mum, but he's a nice bloke and he loves her. He's kind and thoughtful and doesn't complain when Toto sniffs his trousers. She breaks my heart, Giovanni declares, pulling a dramatic face and striking his chest with a fist. I know how he feels. She breaks mine too. I'm half expecting Carter to appear from behind a dustbin or skate up as I wait at the bus stop, but there's no sign of him. Perhaps he doesn't even know it's Valentine's Day. Perhaps he isn't the card-sending sort of boy, or maybe he finally got the message and has given up hope. He's probably canoodling at the school gates with Christina Kowalski right now. Boys are so fickle. At the school gates, though, there's no sign of Carter or Christina Kowalski. I hook up with Nuala in the playground. So did you get a card from Carter, she demands. Hearts, flowers, fluffy bunnies? No, I snap. Like I care anyhow. Valentine's Day is just a load of commercial rubbish. And besides, I do not like Kevin Carter. Nuala smirks. I hate it when she does that. When we get to our form room, Christina Kowalski is perched on a desk at the back, clutching an armful of padded, fluffy, outsized cards and fluttering her eyelashes. I don't know why I've got so many, she simpers to an admiring audience. Boys just seem to like me. I guess I'm just a popular girl. I don't know why. I roll my eyes. Christina is wearing hipsters today, slung so low you can see the back of her thong peeking out over the top. Her white shirt is tight, short and scarily see-through. A silver belly clip glints at her navel, drawing attention to her flat brown tummy. Boys gawp at Christina, bug-eyed, but of course, she doesn't know why. When Brendan Coyle saunters in and slaps her on the bum, she just giggles and tosses her hair and wiggles over to where he's sitting. Nuala makes puking noises behind her hand, and I notice with relief that Kevin Carter is sitting alone in the corner of the room, busy with homework. He wouldn't fall for a girl like Christina, would he? There's something stuck to the seat of my chair. I edge over to investigate and find a small pink love heart sweetie with hot lips written on it. It's stuck down with blue tack and I have to prise it off carefully. I can't help glancing over at Carter. He's still engrossed in his homework, but he's smiling. There's a pale green sweetie that says "My Girl" stuck to the desktop. I'm grinning as I pick it up, and Nuala raises an eyebrow. Don't like him, eh? She whispers as Miss Devlin sweeps into the form room and starts rattling through the register. After games, I find love heart sweets in each of my boots, as well as in the pockets of my school blazer. How did he do that? Nuala asks. Get into the girls' changing rooms. He must really like you. They're just sweets, I tell her. No, Jude, they're Valentines, she corrects me. They're clever, cute and resourceful. Admit it. I pull a face. I can't exactly eat them, I complain. These two had blue tack on them, and these were in my boots. You're not supposed to eat them, Nuala sighs. You're supposed to treasure them forever. What's wrong with you? Nothing, I protest, as a sweetie saying wild thing drops out of the pages of my French book. Nuala thinks my heart is made of ice, but the ice is melting very slowly and just around the edges. It's a scary feeling. In the dinner hall, I open my lunchbox to find "Trust Me" stuck to the inside lid, and a scattering of other messages strewn in amongst my cheese and pickle sandwiches. Carter, munching happily on a chip roll, winks as he strolls past. In art, I find Love Heart sweets in my folder, inside my sketchbook and in my pencil case. They're like little badges, Nuala says, stroking the pastel-coloured sweets. Hey, why don't you wear them as badges? Wear your heart on your sleeve. No way, I protest. People would see. And, Nuala shrugs, and they'd want to know, and, well, it would be embarrassing. Does Carter look embarrassed? Nuala demands. No, but go on, she teases. Live a little. She asks Mr. Latimer if she can use the glue gun, and together we stick the Love Heart sweeties all over my black canvas school bag. It looks cool. Nice idea, Carter says as we walk down to the bus stops, sticking them all over your bag. I'm glad you like them. You're not meant to admit it was you, I tell him. Aren't I? Does that mean I'm not allowed to ask you out either? Carter, no way, I say, panicked. I stop mid-stride and let the crowds of people stream on past. You can't ask me out, not ever. I'm not the dating kind. I think you're wasting your time with me. Carter looks at me. I don't, he says. Can I walk you home? I've got piano practice. So can I walk you to piano practice? I shake my head. This is not going to work, I tell him. Sure it is, Carter laughs. You worry too much. He sits down on the grass and pulls his skates out of his rucksack, dragging them on. I turn and walk away. Hey, wait, Carter calls, but I break into a run and jump onto a bus for the city centre just as it pulls away from the curb. As I push through the scrum of uniformed teenagers, I glance back through the window and see Carter skating after the bus, waving. At piano practice, Miss Lloyd leaves me to set my books out and run through my scales while she fixes herself a cup of coffee. I open my grade 4 book at my first piece, and a small, pale yellow sweetie drops out, landing on the piano keys. I love you. So that was a very sweet chapter, and things looking up a little bit for Jude. Please do tune in tomorrow to find out what happens next. And until then, keep smiling and take care. See you soon.